if I was to face a bodybuilder who's twice my size, would I be able to defeat him? Absolutely. Yeah.
So then why do people try to get big?
For the aesthetics of it. People...
Actually a little bit.
Absolutely.
What do you get out of training MMA?
Fighting is a life skill that every man should master. It shouldn't be optional.
You're not always in a fight. People don't fight every day, every week, even every year.
This dunya is unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. But the day that it does happen, it will come in handy.
The coaching thing is great, bro.
The coaching thing is great, but the fighting thing is unique. I will continue on.
I mean, look, bro, it's not permissible to hit in the face. You used to hang around the wrong crowd.
It got to a point where it was either achieve great things or just throwing my life away.
You had a close friend that passed away.
I was with him 30 minutes before it happened. He got stabbed to death. I think it's actually an event that had to happen to wake up and let go of that life.
Where do you think your life would have been right now had you not experienced his death?
Well, I would have...
Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Righteous and Rich podcast. Today I have my MMA coach here, Coach Ysef. How you doing, akhi?
Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah.
Thanks for having me on.
Wallah, akhi, it's a pleasure to have you, bro. It's a pleasure to have you. Guys, just to give you some context, man, Coach Youcef Oukacine is actually a professional MMA fighter, right?
Yeah.
And he's just left Ireland and come over here to the UAE hoping to do Hijra for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. And he's been coaching a lot of, your friendly neighborhood entrepreneurs. I'm obviously one of his clients, Brother Fawaz, Sam Amin, others. And mashallah, tabarakallah, it's been amazing, it's been phenomenal. And also, he's on a journey right now, just trying to work out, is he going to carry on doing the whole fighting thing or not? And we're going to discuss that in more detail as well, inshallah. So we're going to have an open, honest conversation,
inshallah,
and just see where that takes us. But the first question I have for you, bro, is that you said something shocking to me when we was having breakfast after training a week and a half ago. I said, if you jumped into the ring with a guy that was twice your size, you'd be able to defeat him, even though he's twice your size in terms of strength.
Yeah. So what we were speaking about is a bodybuilder.
Yes, bodybuilders, yeah.
You were saying if I was to face a bodybuilder who's twice my size, would I be able to defeat him? Yeah. And the question is absolutely. Okay. And it's not just me. It's anyone, any martial artist who has the skill level and has the experience. Weight doesn't matter. Okay. Weight only matters to a certain extent.
So when you say weight, you also mean strength then?
Strength and weight and big, massive muscles, they only matter to a certain extent.
That's crazy when you think about it, right? Because you think strength equals, I don't know, like effectiveness in a fight.
Yeah.
But you're saying a guy twice your size, who's a bodybuilder, who doesn't have fighting skills.
He's stiff. He's stiff as a board. You know what I mean? All those muscles, they make you stiff. Okay? If he doesn't practice a martial art, or if he doesn't box, or he has learned to fight, it's very hard for him to actually make use of all that strength and all that muscle he has.
But
it's just for show.
What if he lands one, though?
If he lands one, then fair enough. But for him to land one, it's a long process. Yeah.
You know, when you say that, though, it really just makes me, like, I remember when you said that to me, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I could be a bit open here, yeah? I've been trying to be consistent with strength training in the gym since I was like 18 years old.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I really don't like it. Like, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I will try my best to do it. Recently, I've been in the most consistent stage of my life, like training in the gym. Because I'm getting old and I realize, bro, it's just now or never, bro. Like you actually have to just do it now. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like a harsh pill to swallow every day when I have to go and just lift up these weights and whatnot. When you said that to me, it kind of made me lose respect for the whole like strength training thing just for the sake of getting big.
Absolutely.
When you're telling me that a guy who's half my size could just smoke me.
Yeah.
Right? And I
can give you a whole list of MMA fighters who are half your size and would run laps around you.
Really?
Honestly. And not just you, anyone.
But then that made me think, because obviously when I go to the gym, I'm saying I want to be healthy, but I also want to be able to defend myself if I get into a fight.
Absolutely.
Right? But you're telling me that I won't be able to achieve that second one if I don't know how to train, if I don't know how to fight.
Exactly.
So
fighting is a skill.
So then why do people try to get big? Like what's I don't get it. What's the whole thing?
It's for the aesthetics of it. Yeah.
Like is that really what it is?
If you're like, You're doing it for looks. You're doing it to look good. And listen, don't get me wrong. Some people, getting them to the gym is the first step. Maybe they're fat, they're out of shape, they're skinny, whatever. They go to the gym. It's actually a good thing for them. Yeah. But essentially, if all you do is gym and you get big and you look good, you're just doing it for looks. Yeah. If it's not functional, if you're not actually able to use it in a real life situation, then is it really that effective?
See, the reason why this just dawned on me is because me personally, I think maybe when I was like 18, 19, I wanted to look good. Yeah. Right? That's why I wanted to go to the gym, but it's just whatever. I just couldn't find the motivation for it.
I started with the gym myself as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started with the gym myself.
I did too, I guess.
When I was 14, I started with the gym myself. Yeah, but as you said, it gets very boring. It gets repetitive. You're going in, you're lifting weights, you're just same thing, push, pull, legs, arms. It's not functional.
But the thing that's just really opening my eyes to this is that it's like, bro, you put so much effort into just looking good.
Yeah.
But that's mad. Like, as in, it surely is more to life.
Yeah.
Surely, I understand that there's other transferable skills that you get from going to the gym, training to failure. To be honest, the biggest thing that I got from strength training was training to failure.
Yes.
Because it trained me to think I've got more in me.
Fact.
Than I actually thought I had. And I would use that outside of the gym.
Yes.
Like, for example, when I'm studying, when I'm revising, when I'm working on my business, when
pushing to the limit.
Right, pushing to the limit. You know what? I've got more in me. I've got more than I thought that I had. So there's definitely benefits there, but
absolutely,
the amount of time and effort that like a bodybuilder spends on his diet and his training and everything, you think it's just to look good?
A bodybuilder,
yeah,
that's his career. Okay, so I'm not necessarily talking about a bodybuilder. You asked me whether a smaller fighter would defeat the bodybuilder. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Because he has a better skill level in fighting. He knows how to fight. Whereas the big guy, the bodybuilder, he knows how to lift heavy objects.
Like it's definitely a grind. But I'm talking about it in the context of like what's useful as a man. Like as a man, I don't think
if you're not a bodybuilder, you shouldn't be training like a bodybuilder. That's my point.
If you're not a bodybuilder, you shouldn't be training like a bodybuilder. Okay.
If your goal is to get fit, is to look good, is to learn how to fight, to be a better version of yourself, then you shouldn't just be training like a bodybuilder. Why we do that is because society has just taught us, if you want to get fit and look good, get to the gym. Gym. But you're not actually learning anything, like any practical skill by going to the gym.
I was actually with Sam, who is now, mashallah, one of your clients. People know him from the Child My Buy podcast.
Yeah.
Brother Sam Amin.
Yeah.
And he actually mentioned this to me about a month ago. We were training together, and he's like, like these weights that we're doing, like this doesn't really teach you anything functional. He's like, if for example right now we had to pick up a family member from a burning building, despite how strong he was talking about himself, like that I am, I would struggle.
Absolutely.
Because we're not used to holding people in those positions and whatnot and so on and so forth.
So I was coaching this morning and he was speaking to me about how stiff he felt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because all he's done since he's a teenager is go to the gym.
Yeah.
Lift weights. No stretching, no agility drills, no dynamic movements, no athleticism. Okay, Allahu Barak, he's actually very good for someone who has never trained before. Really? He's learning very fast, Allahu Barak, yeah. But like he even said it to me.
He's mentally a beast, mashallah.
Allah, that's absolutely. He's very resilient. Yeah, he has it in the mind. He has it physically and he has it mentally as well, for sure. But as I was saying, he mentioned to me as well how stiff he felt because he's never actually done a sport before and worked on his athleticism. He's just been lifting like a bodybuilder, and that gets you to a certain point. Maybe it gets you from being overweight to being in shape. It definitely has its ups, but there's a lot more that you're missing out on if all you're focusing on is just weightlifting and training like a bodybuilder.
Since we started making content for righteous and rich entrepreneurs, I've gotten so many messages from brothers who've been inspired and want help making money online. They're hungry for financial freedom so they can seek knowledge, do hijrah, and live life on their terms with Allah's permission. But here's the truth. I can't help you. I personally only work with 7 to 9 figure entrepreneurs. With that said, there is one brother that I trust more than anyone else that helps beginners start their online businesses with Allah's permission. In fact, I've sent him dozens of brothers already, and time again, he's helped them make consistent money online. Look, I have a lot to lose by putting my name behind someone I don't have full confidence in. But this brother, I've vetted him and his team and his method. I trust him with Allah's permission. Which is why I'm ready to risk my 10-year plus reputation on telling you this brother, he will help you make money online, inshallah ta'ala. So if you're interested, go to the link below and you can apply for his mentorship. With that said, let's get back into the discussion. So let me ask you a question. If people train like bodybuilders to look good, and of course you get stronger as well, and there's other things that come with it as well, but mainly it's for the aesthetics, then what do you get out of fighting? What do you get out of training MMA?
It's a life skill. Yeah, I always tell people, training, fighting, MMA, just fighting in general, it is a life skill. Yeah, it's something that you'll keep throughout your whole life. If you are a kid who starts to train at the age of 10, 11, 12, when you're 60, 70 years old, you'll still have that skill. It's not like playing football. You play it when you're younger and then you grow older and you kind of let it go and you never play again and it's gone. Fighting is a life skill that every man should master. Yeah, it shouldn't be optional. It should be mandatory.
But why? Because a person might argue and say, you're not always in a fight. People don't fight every day, every week, even every year. So why is it so important?
Because this dunya is unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen every day, but the day that it does happen, it will come in handy. You know what I mean? You will have something in the back pocket to actually do something in that situation.
What, are there other things that you get from training how to fight?
In what way?
Like any other transferable skills that are outside of an actual fight? Because one might say, look, I hear you, but it's like most people won't save for a rainy day.
Yeah.
And you're going to need it. There's a day is going to come where you're going to need that money, but it's just things that are so far in the future.
Yeah.
People aren't really motivated to really consider those things right now.
Yeah.
So I can imagine some people be like, but bro, you're telling me to train for a day that may or may not come.
Yes. But on a day-to-day basis, how can it help you?
How can it help you? Yeah.
Exactly. Discipline is the biggest one. Yeah. It builds incredible discipline. I mean, you've seen it yourself.
Yeah.
You've only been training a short amount of time, but the discipline that it builds, the mindset that it builds, and how transferable it is in your day-to-day life as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, as a business owner, is second to none.
So how would you describe discipline? Because we hear this term a lot.
Yes.
Like, what is discipline?
Doing what needs to be done regardless of the circumstances.
I actually love that definition. Doing what needs to be done regardless of the circumstances.
Exactly.
Because everyone wants to achieve something.
Exactly.
And usually the thing that is we know what to do.
Yes.
Like if you ask someone, bro, look, I want to set up a business. I want to do this. I want to get married. I want to memorize the Quran. Like we all know what needs to be done to get there.
Absolutely.
But we just don't do it.
Exactly.
And the thing that gets in the way is that lack of discipline. So then, okay, how does martial arts or MMA, how does that develop discipline?
The training itself is brutal. Okay?
Okay.
It's brutal and you have to break many mental barriers during your training. Okay? So as you're progressing, you're breaking all these mental barriers and you're improving and you're showing up and you're putting hard work in. Yeah, whether it's through sparring, whether it's through conditioning, whether it's through pad work, and you're building this incredible mental strength that is very transferable in your day-to-day life.
It's very interesting that you say that because I watched a podcast by this guy called Andrew Huberman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, and he was talking about cold exposure, and I remember, like as in like a cold plunge and stuff like that, right? So he mentioned all the different benefits for it.
Yeah.
There's health benefits, whatnot. Then there's one particular point he mentioned, which is that it helps train resilience in the mind.
Exactly. It's a part in the mind.
Yeah.
They actually mentioned a part in the mind. I can't remember the exact name of it. Off the top of my head, I'd say it's the mid-singular anterior cortex.
Wow, you sound like it.
Wallahi. Listen, don't quote me on that one. Don't quote me on that. But it was something complicated, as complicated as that. And anyway, yeah, a very complicated term. And he explains how this part of the mind actually gets activated when you do things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So, for example, he says, if I was to do a cold plunge right now, and I love to do the cold plunge. I actually enjoy it. I won't get the same benefits as I would if I hated doing the cold plunge. But I do it regardless. This part of the brain gets activated and there's many benefits to it. And it's the same thing with fighting. Like as a fighter, especially, like there's most days I don't want to train. Like I'm training 2 to 3 times a day, 4 hours a day. I'm tired. I'm underfilled. I'm cutting weight for a fight. I'm coaching on the side. Last thing I want to do is go in there and spar some big 80 kilo fighter, you know what I mean, trained fighter, and you do it regardless because it has to be done, you know what I mean. And That's it. It just builds that discipline that you don't give yourself any room for slipping up and not achieving what you intended from the get-go. You know what I mean?
The powerful thing about that is that what we don't realize is that the mind can be trained just like the body. Right?
Absolutely.
And
absolutely. And fighting is more mental than it is physical. I'll tell you what, training is more physical than it is mental. But fighting in itself on fight night is absolutely all mental and 1% physical.
Really break that down to me. Like what are the mental influences here? Like what are the mental implications?
So how it works is when in fighting, when you have a fight coming up, you have a training camp. Okay, so it starts off with a training camp. This can be between 8 to 12 weeks, say, unless it's a short notice fight. Yeah. During this training camp, it's the grueling bit. It's the physical part, the dieting, the low energy because of you're on low calories, the hard training, the hard sparring. Your body's not recovering as well. This is the training camp. It's very physical. You got to get it done. It takes a lot of discipline. Mentally, the discipline aspect of it is still there as it is on a day-to-day. However, when it comes to fight night, the work is already done. All the training is done. You have to believe in that. You have to trust in the work that you've put in. And you go in there and you have to be confident in your skill set. And it's all mental. Whichever fighter is mentally stronger and has a better mindset going into the fight is usually the one who wins. Because the work is already done. It's all in the mind.
Look, to like on a personal level, to be able to relate to you there, right?
Yeah.
Even though I'm not by any means like a fighter.
Soon, lad. Soon, lad.
Inshallah, soon, yeah. Definitely trying to, get that skill. We actually, when we moved to the UAE about 2-3 years ago, we started attending an MMA class. We did it for I think about 2 months. I think altogether I must have done 6 classes. That was it. Okay. But in the 4th, 5th class, we did some sparring, right? And the brother that I was partnered up with, he used to be a Muay Thai fighter. Okay. But he had not done it for 7-8 years.
All right.
And, put on some weight and it was visibly out of shape.
Okay.
But the concept of this guy was a fighter, right? Once upon a time.
Absolutely.
So, now I told you I did karate as a kid.
Yes.
So we did sparring, but it was touch sparring.
Yeah, it's right. It's just,
you're not really hitting anyone.
Contact. Yeah,
exactly. So, and I wouldn't think that I would have been scared of that situation. But the moment we started sparring, I don't know what I felt. I actually felt fear. I actually felt scared.
Absolutely.
And what's happening is that, and I don't know where it came from, but it's just this guy could actually hurt me.
Yes.
So as we're sparring, and it's all happening subconsciously and it's happening so quickly.
Yes.
So I found myself moving back. And I'm like, why am I moving back? And what happened? Bro, he was just striking. We weren't hitting to the face, but he was just striking me, punching me, hitting my stomach, whatnot, so on and so forth. And then that was it. The whole week I couldn't stop thinking about that.
Absolutely.
And I was like, bro, no, I just lost.
It's embarrassing.
Before I even started. It is very embarrassing.
Yes.
And I lost before I even started. I lost in my mind.
Yes.
So next week I said, you know what? I'm going to come in with a different energy. So when the coach was like, all right, spar, make partners, I was like, straight away I reached out to him. I said, jump in.
Yes.
When I jumped in with him, I don't know how it happened. I ended up doing a takedown and I got him on the ground. I made him tap out. I don't know what I did. I don't know how I did it. And clearly he's more skilled.
The power of the mind. You came in prepared.
Yeah.
You trained yourself.
100%.
Yeah. You had that experience.
Yeah.
You went back, you reflected on it, and you came back ready the next time.
Even just to give you another example, just to show people how, because I remember for years I used to hear this, martial arts brings discipline, and I never saw really how.
Yes.
But now I'm starting to see it in all different areas of life. For example, we were playing paddle the other day, as in just 2-3 days ago. Yeah. And I realized something for the previous weeks that I was playing is that when you lose focus, or when you get frustrated, or when you're trying to show off and just do a trick shot, that's when you lose.
Absolutely.
So the 2 guys, so it was me and my brother, and it was the 2 guys that we were playing against, and they were actually very good, but they kept trying to do these funny shots.
Okay.
So I said to my brother, I said, you know what, bro, let's just play it cool.
Stay focused.
Just stay focused. Let's play the boring shots.
Absolutely.
But we won 4 games in a row. 4 games in a row.
I've seen it on your story.
Yeah, we won 4 games in a row.
You were flexing it.
And then I started getting into their head.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right, bro. Like the mental element is so intense there. And if you can train your brain to be resilient here,
yes,
you can see that. And I see it in you, by the way. You know why? Because you're now embarking upon your journey as being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Allah barik. You've literally left
yeah.
your homeland.
Yes. I had a whole coaching business set up over there.
Right.
I was consistent clients, making decent amount of money, alhamdulillah, as well. And I burnt that ship and said, let's start from scratch.
And you come to a Muslim country. And of course, you've set up a business, but you're a fighter, not an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But actually, the way you're moving and the way you're like going here, building connections, you're networking, you're going to different gyms, you're working, the way you're working on your social media, very impressive. And I feel like the fact that you were able to do that the moment you landed, like the moment you landed, it just shows that discipline of fighting benefiting you here. Do you guys want to hear something depressing? I've been searching for a halal investment opportunity with high returns for over 15 years. And other than Bitcoin, regretfully, I never found anything solid. The opportunities I found always had one of 3 issues. It was either haram disguised as halal, or it was super risky and volatile, or it had painfully low returns. I'm talking the type where they mention you make your first million when you're 50. But that all changed when I interviewed the most impressive real estate investor I've ever met, Brother Sam Amin. I interviewed him on my podcast, Righteous and Rich. And he blew my mind away with a halal real estate investment opportunity where he's helping his investors get 50% returns in 2 years. Allahumma barik. In fact, some of the most well-known students of knowledge and well-respected businessmen have invested with him and made hundreds of thousands and even millions. Allahumma barik. And get this, it's actually halal. There are no dodgy fatwas. There's no tricks. It's 100% halal. But there is a catch. There's always a catch. The catch is you have to have at least $100,000 liquid ready to invest within the next 30 days to qualify for his current development project in Dubai, where it's projected that he's going to be giving 50% returns to his investors over a 2-year period, inshallah. So if you're interested and you'd like to book a call with this team, you can do so at the link below. But just a heads up, if you don't have the $100,000 ready to deploy in 30 days, they won't take that call. With that said, let's get into the podcast.
Actually, fighting, I personally believe, is the hardest thing you can do. There's nothing harder than fighting.
Okay.
Nothing harder than you training yourself, killing yourself for 8 to 12 weeks, getting ready to fight another man who was also a trained killer in a cage in front of a crowd under bright lights in front of thousands of people. Yeah. People watching on TV or on a stream, and you're exposed. There's nothing harder than that. Physically and mentally. Nothing is as hard as that. So anything else that I think of that I can do, say after fighting or as I'm fighting, anything else that I can do outside of fighting, I don't see it as much of a challenge as fighting, because I just know fighting, there's nothing harder than that. I think it builds a crazy amount of resilience and discipline that you can transfer to all aspects of your life. And you don't necessarily need to fight in order to have that as well. You need to experience that training feeling. Get a little snippet of that fight camp feeling of looking after your body, eating well, being a little bit depleted calorie-wise. You're not fully fueled sometimes because you have to cut weight and whatnot, but you still show up, you get the work done. Sometimes you have bad days, you take a few shots, you know what I mean, in sparring. Sometimes you have good days and you're flying, but it's the ups and the downs, and that's what builds that mental resilience, you know?
So how did you get into this?
So, as you may know, there's a very, very famous Irish fighter, by the name of Conor McGregor. Yeah. So, as he was coming up, I was a teenager, my early teens. I think I was 14, 15. And his rise and his come up was absolutely massive in Dublin.
Really?
Yeah, which is where I'm from Dublin, Ireland. Absolutely massive. A whole country was watching him, and it was the things he was doing at the time were incredible. Unbelievable. You were like, he would literally predict the shot that he's going, predict the shot and the time and the round that he's going to knock someone out or finish them, and he would go out there and he would do the exact same thing. The exact thing that he predicted, he would go out there and do it. And in my head, I'm like, whoa, whoa, this doesn't make sense. Like, I had some thoughts that maybe it's working with jinns or sorcery and whatnot, because it didn't make sense. It was like incredible. But anyways, his rise was massive back home, and I started getting into the sport then. I'd done a little bit of karate when I was younger, similar to you. I was actually quite good at it, but I never stuck to it. But once I seen his rise, I got interested in MMA, and I joined the gym when I was 16. And although my parents were very against it, I managed to negotiate with them at the end. And from there on, I just fell in love with the sport. I thought I'd try it out. And his style was so inspirational. And I started looking in to other fighters like the likes of Muhammad Ali, and just the story and the glory and the achievements. And it's just a beautiful story in my head. So, yeah, that's what got me into fighting. Absolutely.
And then what kept you in?
What kept me in was the love of the game. Once I started, I absolutely fell in love with it. Obsessed. Like, since I started, I am absolutely obsessed with fighting. Whether it's training, whether it's studying the fight game, whether it's listening to what fighters say and the way they're living, and whether they're on a podcast and describing their lifestyle and the mindset, I just fell in love with every aspect of being a martial artist and being a fighter. Like, for me, it was a way to live, a way of life. It's not just, you're not a fighter, it's a way of life. You know, I feel like as I'm getting closer to a fight, I get closer to my deen and more disciplined and sharper in every aspect of my life leading up to a fight. Like, I like to compare going into a fight, an MMA fight, as going into war. Yeah, going into a literal war, yeah, against another army. You don't plan for what's after. In your mind, you're going in there and you don't know if you're going to make it out. It's very unlikely that you will die or you will be paralyzed or get a very serious injury. Okay, but you have to have that mindset of, I don't care what happens after. I don't care. I'm going in there and I'm not planning for the day after. I'm not planning for the week after. All I'm looking to plan ahead for is the fight. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters.
So you, if I'm not mistaken, used to kind of hang around the wrong crowd.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And what someone might describe as coming from like the streets.
Yeah.
Did training help you like leave that life?
Absolutely. It got to a point where it was either chase this dream and achieve great things in life, or just hang around on the street. You know what I mean? Just throwing my life away. And subhanAllah, I always had the wisdom of knowing, even when I was doing it, as I was in that environment, I always knew I wasn't going to stick around. I always knew I could achieve better. I always knew I had it in me. I had something. Since a very young kid, I felt like I have something better in me. I need to do something with it. And being around that crowd, I know there was a time bomb on it. I knew it was only a matter of time before I let it go and started fixing up. And
where did that come from? That's what internal, belief that you were meant for something great.
Well, I'm not too sure. Maybe it's something that my parents ingrained in me as a kid, but I always felt since a very, very young kid, before I was even out on the streets or whatever, doing things I shouldn't have been doing, I always believed I had something great within me, and I had to do something with it, you know. But yeah, I always knew it was only a matter of time.
You had a close friend that passed away.
Yes, I did. Azam Allah Rahma.
May Allah have mercy on him. I mean. How did that impact you?
Yeah, that was a pivotal moment in my life. I was with him 30 minutes before it happened. I wasn't there when the stabbing actually happened. So how he ended up returning to Allah is he got stabbed to death. Yeah, I wasn't even there. But that completely changed my life. It forced me and many of the brothers that I was with at the time to reset and to rethink what we're doing, you know. But yeah, it's still a moment that I reflect upon a lot. I think about a lot. And I think it's actually an event that had to happen for not only myself, but even the brothers that I was with, to wake up and let go of that life. And it was still a bit of a process after that, slowly detaching from that lifestyle. But yeah, I think it was super necessary.
Where do you think your life would have been right now had you not experienced his death?
Well, I would have... I can't tell you. It's not a good ending though. It's not in a good place in any way. Not in a good place. Yeah, the environment we were in at the time was very, very bad. And it's only a matter of time before something similar happens. One of the others die. One of us die. Another one of us die. Sorry. Or end up locked up. And yeah.
So I've got a lot of experience working with brothers that were very deep in the streets in London, and you know, the ones who were able to make it out are always few in comparison to those who are not able to make it out. There's always something that pulls them back. Could be a previous case that catches up with them. It could be, you know, their friends pull them back in. It could be that they want to change, but they've got enemies now. So they've got to basically always be in that mindset of, I'm ready to kill or be killed. Because if they let that guard down, there's people out there that actually want to kill them, that will come get them. You still managed to make that transition, Allah barik. I know one of your other best friends as well, who we won't mention, you know, just because he's not here, but very good brother, also made it out as well, Allah barik. How did you guys deal with all those vices that pull you back in, all those pitfalls that get a man to slip up and go right back to where he came from?
It's a process. It's a process. I think the event, the death of Azam, Allah yarahmu, definitely struck every single one of us. It was crazy to see the shock of the consequence of the life that we were living. You know, it was right in our face. We hadn't experienced anything like that before. But yeah, from that moment on, slowly you start to detach from that environment. A lot of brothers, or some of the brothers, left that life, and then, as you know, some stay in it, regardless. But yeah, I think it's up to you at the end of the day. You know, you have to make that decision for yourself, and it's not an instant switch. It's very hard to instantly just leave it off completely. But yeah, it's a process.
So if you could break that process down for someone who's watching thinking, bro, I need to leave this as well. Yeah. How would you break it down? What's some advice that you would give? Because there's definitely, I don't know people who live that life that want to carry on remaining being in that life. I feel like the only thing that distracts them is women and drugs, right?
Yeah.
And maybe the adrenaline that comes from a current drama.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you speak to people, they're like, bro, I don't want to be involved here.
Yeah.
Of course, money as well. That's another thing.
Yeah.
So,
and just being around the boys. You want to be around the boys. You know what I mean? You want to be
sense of belonging.
That's it. Exactly. A sense of belonging. Being around that environment, it's fun. You're getting about. You're doing things. You know what I mean? You're getting into trouble. You get adrenaline rush out of it. But you have to just grow up and get out of that mindset. You know, you have to find something. Find your purpose. Find something that you actually want to do that has a bigger purpose.
Being a Muslim entrepreneur who's committed to making hundreds and millions of dollars through his business without compromising his deen, I can tell you this is a very lonely journey. But over the last year, I've realized that I'm not alone. In fact, some of the most sophisticated entrepreneurs are Muslims who fear Allah, and they watch this show. They attend our retreats, and they use their wealth for good. The issue is that they're all scattered. They're all alone. But inshallah, that changes once and for all on September the 6th. Because we're going to be launching our exclusive and powerful circle of Muslims making millions, inshallah ta'ala. If you make millions as an entrepreneur or have at least $10 million in assets through investments, then you qualify to join our waiting list at the link below. P.S. I just want to mention, money isn't the only qualifying factor, but it definitely is the first. So you can register your interest at the link below, inshallah ta'ala, and join the waiting list. With that said, let's get back into the discussion. It's actually a very powerful point that you just mentioned it, because you know this concept of sense of belonging. Yeah, it's very powerful.
Absolutely, like, absolutely.
There's a book I'm reading currently. It's called The True Believer, and it's all about what type of people join mass movements and how to get someone to join a mass movement.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to strike a mass movement. It's because we use these things in marketing.
Okay.
Right. Like this, marketing is all about getting people to change their ideas.
Okay.
And coming onto you and your service or whatever it is, as opposed to someone else's.
Yes.
And in many ways, you know, how someone builds a mass movement is also how you can build a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
So that's why I was reading it, just in case. I'm not trying to spark a revolution. Right? Anyways, but the book's very interesting because it talks about how people who feel a sense of belonging, even if they're poor, even if they like are rejects of society,
yeah,
and even if they don't have anything going for themselves, but if they feel a sense of belonging, they won't change their lives.
Absolutely,
they won't change their lives. Like, in fact, they'll be willing to die for their group. And the example the guy gave, and this book was written in like 1989, by the way, so it was a while ago. But he was like, in China, a person would be willing to. So they had a thing where if there was a criminal who was sentenced to death and he's from a rich family, he could pay a poor person to die in his case, to die in his place.
Okay.
And the poor person would do that if the price was right to take care of his family after him. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, sure. Like, as long as you're going to take care of my family. So that just reminds you of that gang culture. It's like a guy knows, well, I'm going to die today.
Yes.
Like I've actually been in situations where we're trying to mitigate these things.
Yeah.
And like guys have come to attack some guys. They're going to kill the guy. And he's literally walking into 10, 20, and he's not high, he's not drunk.
Yes.
He's walking into 10, 20 guys who are going to murder him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, that only happens if, I mean, that could happen because you're drunk, it could happen because of ego, but also a sense of, I'm ready to die for these guys. Brainwashed, right?
Absolutely brainwashed.
So you have to make people feel disconnected from these environments where they feel this sense of belonging.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, they won't leave it.
Absolutely. And in my case, I always looked at it like, I don't want to be around the group of brothers that are on the deen or the group of brothers that just aren't like as engaging as the group of brothers I was around. For me, it took me being alone.
Interesting.
It took me being absolutely alone. And to this day, I still keep to myself a lot. Since that moment, since I detached myself from that group, and don't get me wrong, that group of brothers are still blessed. I still see them every now and then, and it's still like I'm not speaking bad about any of them. 100%. Yeah, I'm not speaking about any of them. But I found that I do best. I operate best when I'm alone.
Are you still, as in you didn't find a replacement for that brotherhood, for that camaraderie, as they say?
I'm here now, and I'm actually finding brotherhood here in Dubai. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I'm finding some very blessed brothers over here. However, in Ireland, just before coming here for the past couple of years, the past 4 or 5 years, I've just been doing my own thing. I keep to myself. I keep to myself. Now, don't get me wrong, it's because fighting and training, it takes a lot of the time, and I don't have time for anything else. Don't have time for any of it. You know, if it's not benefiting my career and my goals, I just see it as a waste of time now. You know, I enjoy keeping to myself and staying focused on what I need to do. I don't find pleasure in going out and just wasting hours and hours and hours. I get jittery, I get agitated, I start thinking, I could be doing this right now, I could be doing that. It's just not something I completely don't like doing anymore. You know? Yeah.
I think it's important for a man to be able to
be alone.
Yeah, be alone. Not just be alone, but for a man to enjoy his own company.
Absolutely.
And I actually believe in many cases a man should enjoy his own company more than the company of others.
Yeah.
If not, it just indicates that the person's shallow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I got to a point in my life right now where, and by the way, I'm an extrovert. I'm not just an extrovert. I'm like the most extreme type of extrovert.
SubhanAllah.
Like, bro, I could be in a room of like 50 to 100 people, and I'm managing, like I'm
engaging with
the
everyone.
whole crowd.
Yeah.
No, not just engaging. Like I'm like a conductor.
Yeah.
Like I could make them guys in the back laugh. I can make these guys cry.
Yes,
I can make these guys angry. I can make them like mess with each other. I could turn an introvert into an extrovert.
Yes, SubhanAllah.
Like, bro, I don't even like it anymore. I feel like I when I got to learn myself.
Yes.
When I got to be private with myself. When I learned how to be with myself, because we don't even know how to be with ourselves.
Absolutely.
When I learned how to be with myself,
Absolutely.
I enjoy being with myself more than I enjoy being, to the point where I don't like it.
Yes.
I actually get anxious now.
Yeah.
Around big crowds. I'm like, oof, I just want to be alone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because when you're with yourself, bro, wonders that happen. Like, you get to assess yourself. You get to, just sometimes thinking of memories.
Yes.
Things that you've been through.
Absolutely.
Reliving a moment, enjoying it, learning lessons from it.
Exactly.
Even
reflecting, you know what I mean? Absolutely.
Like even and I'm sure this helps when it comes to training as well, because recently I read this book called Make It Stick.
Okay.
And it's a book about how to learn better.
Okay.
And it talks about how to learn academically and also physically. So it brings a lot of case study. Maybe you might even be worthwhile you checking this book out.
I don't read books, man.
Or the audiobook.
Yeah, audiobook.
Because it would help with training.
Podcast version, yeah.
It will help with training.
Okay.
Because he brings a lot of examples about how to develop physical training.
Okay.
Right? In sports and also work that's physical, like surgery, like neurosurgeons and stuff like that.
Okay.
So one of the things he mentioned was that makes these athletes and people that have to use their body so great is the ability to reflect on what happened.
Yes.
So he was talking about one of the best neurosurgeons in the world, who actually treated Sheikh Zayed, rahimahullah, who was the ruler of the UAE.
Yes.
Who brought everyone together, in the early days. He actually treated him. He's a phenomenal neurosurgeon, this guy.
Okay.
And what he would do is he would just go and reflect about how that surgery went and think about it.
Yeah.
So I do that now after training.
Yes.
Like, I'll go back and I'll think, wait,
I could have done this. I could have done this
that.
better. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why it's like you probably notice I'm conscious that I know I kind of know the mistake I made.
Yes.
I didn't turn the leg there. I didn't turn the leg.
Yes.
It's because I'm actually thinking about it.
And that's what I want. As the coach, I want you to know, to be aware of the mistakes you're making, even if you're making them. Even if maybe you didn't turn your foot as you do the hand. As long as you're aware of that mistake, that's half the work done. But if you're in your head, you're doing it right, there's nothing you're doing wrong, then we can't improve. You know what I mean? I just want to make you aware of the mistakes you're making. And from there, we can correct them and move on to the next. You know what I mean?
People associate arrogance with fighting.
Yeah.
And being like a guy who knows how to fight.
Yeah.
Would you say it makes you arrogant or does it make you humble? Because I've had both.
I think it makes you humble. Yeah, I do believe it makes you humble. At the start, it could stem some arrogance. Yeah, you learn how to fight. You want to show off a little bit, show off to your friends. I can do this, I can do that. But I think a true martial artist is humble because he knows what he can do. He knows the skill set that he possesses. Yeah, and he knows the consequences of the things that he could do. So he doesn't need to show it. He doesn't need to be the loudest guy in the room. He doesn't need to be the biggest guy in the room. You know, he knows he's self-aware of what skill set he has. You know what I mean? So I honestly do believe it makes you more humble.
I've noticed, and this could be anecdotal, maybe you could, because you obviously see fighters on a more regular basis, but I've noticed that people that are actually good fighters are always very calm.
Yeah.
And they're not cocky, they're not loud.
Absolutely.
Is that the case?
That is the case for most fighters. However, it is tailored to the person.
There's always exceptions.
Every person is different. Exactly.
But I've noticed that guys that are just calm, collected, it's like they feel very centered.
Absolutely.
Where does that come from?
When you're training, when you're sparring, okay, you're actually getting to exert that energy. Okay, so you're exerting all that oomph that you have inside you, all that testosterone, all that you're actually getting to exert it when you're training, when you're sparring. Maybe you go to the gym one day and you get humbled. The guy is much better than you and you get humbled. And then you go back and you reflect on it and whatnot. But essentially, you get to take all that energy that you have inside of you, because as men, we do have that energy of we need to exert, you know? So in training, you're actually exerting all that energy. And as a result of that, you end up being calm and being humble, you know?
What would you advise to a person who's like, listen, bro, I want to do MMA, but I don't know where to start. Striking or jiu-jitsu. Some people talk about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But then there's no punching or kicking in that. Muay Thai just seems a bit more, you know, aggressive.
Too much going on. Yeah.
Just talk us through the pros and cons of striking and like being able to dominate on the ground.
Yeah. So martial arts is fighting as a whole. Okay. So whether it's on the feet or on the ground. Okay. There's benefits to both. You need, as an MMA fighter, you need to know both. Okay. You need to be a master in both. Okay. If you're starting off, I would advise you to pick one discipline and stick with it. Okay. So whether you're more into the ground game, you're more intrigued with that, go with that. Whether you're more into boxing or striking, kicking, then start with that. I think striking is the most engaging one. Okay. So when you're punching and kicking an object, it actually is a lot more engaging, and you feel like you can hurt it. You know, you're taking that thing that's inside you, and you get to actually exert it, and you get that sense of relief after training. You know, so I think just pick one discipline, stick with it for a little while, and then move on, add on to that. So for example, if you start with boxing, then you move on to kickboxing. You start adding your kicks and your knees, and then you go into a bit of Muay Thai, you start adding elbows and knees, and then you add a little bit of wrestling to it, and then you add some jiu-jitsu. Once you take them down, wrestling is to get the person down. Once you get them down, you work on your jiu-jitsu.
So wrestling is to get them down.
Wrestling is to get them down.
That's it.
Exactly. Jiu-jitsu is to submit them.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of step by step. Each fight starts on the feet. That's the thing that you have to keep in mind. Every fight starts on the feet. Okay.
It's interesting because someone gave me a stat. People don't quote me on it, but something like 80% of all fights, like even like street fights, end up on the floor.
Yes.
So he was trying to say that's why you need to learn jiu-jitsu. Like that's why. But then I remember I always thought, but aren't you kind of leaving yourself a bit open if you don't know how to strike?
Yes.
What if the guy just lands one on you before you get him onto the floor?
Exactly. Every fight starts on the feet. So you need to learn how to strike. Yeah. Learn how to strike and to set up your takedowns. Yeah. If your plan is to take someone down and to submit them, you need to have a basic level of striking. So that's why starting off on the feet with striking is the best option. Definitely.
What's the difference between normal kickboxing and Muay Thai?
So kickboxing wouldn't have knees and elbows. Okay. Whereas Muay Thai is a traditional Thai sport, and they have nasty elbows and knees to the head and to the body. Yeah. And there's more clinching as well going on in Muay Thai.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the benefit of a clinch?
It's close distance. In Muay Thai, they like to sweep and to throw knees and elbows in that close proximity. Muay Thai is like an art form of itself. It's a martial art in itself. So they have a particular skill rule set, and the judging system is a little bit different as well. But the clinch is also a very important area of fighting to master, because a lot of times you do end up very close to each other, and being able to hit someone while you're in a clinch or take them down, if that is your intention, is important. You're taking the fight where you want to take it.
So it's a way of just controlling people at close distance?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And this, you know, these videos we see of like these Muay Thai fighters are like breaking down trees and stuff like that. Like, is that actually possible in real life?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Muay Thai fighters have very, very solid shins. Okay, so their shins have been conditioned. Yeah, Muay Thai fighters have, like, they kick multiple hundreds, if not thousands of times a day. So their shins are rock solid. So for entertainment purposes, they chop down trees with their shins, you know. I don't think they do it every day. I highly doubt it, but it makes good content, you know.
So how does one get his shins or his body to be conditioned to that point?
By training, by kicking hard objects, whether you're kicking pads or whether you're kicking bags, and sparring as well. Putting shin pads on and hitting another body, you know, hitting the legs, hitting the body, hitting the arms, catch a few on the elbows. It's sore, but you get stronger through that. You're conditioning your body and your shins.
So just by continuously kicking and then upping the hardness of the object you kick.
Exactly. And there is little techniques like with a bat, like rubbing a bat on your shin. There's other techniques, but you don't need to go crazy complicated about it. Keep it nice, simple. Make it effective. Do more sparring. Kick with the bag. Kick the pads, and the shins naturally will get conditioned. Okay. You know, your whole body will.
As the CEO of a highly influential Muslim company, would you like to know the single most important move that I made in 2025 that's helped me make more money than I ever have before with Allah's permission? Well, it was joining the Live by Design Mentorship for CEOs by Coach Fawaz. When I heard that he helps scale the CEO's performance, which ultimately results in the business scaling, I was a bit skeptical. But subhanAllah, this program has transformed my deen, my health, my mental health, my family, my iman, and even my business. Coach Fawaz is now one of the 5 most important people that's impacted me in my life. So if you're a CEO of a decent sized company that's struggling to take his business to the next level, that next zero, that's where Coach Fawaz's Live by Design mentorship comes in. I'll leave the link to the application form below if you're interested. With that said, let's get back into the discussion. So when we were in Morocco, I remember you was talking about how your father didn't want you to do this.
Yes, sir.
So why does uncle not want you to do this?
He's a father. I mean, it's more my mother than my father, to be honest with you. Yeah,
okay.
The mother, she doesn't want to see her son get hurt. You know, I know my dad. He's against it also. But deep down, I know he kind of likes the idea of his son being an athlete. You know, my dad loves sports. He loves football specifically. But I know deep down he has, that little softness, you know what I mean? Inside, and he's like, I'm proud of my son being an athlete. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's more my mother than anything. Yeah, it's more my mother just being afraid, and she doesn't want me to get injured, and she's scared for me, and I absolutely understand it, you know. But
the injury stuff is real, though, isn't it? Like I heard that people who are fighters, their brains get pretty damaged.
So it's been studied, and boxers, funny or not, have a lot more brain damage and CTE than MMA fighters, because MMA, although we have knees and elbows and kicks to the head, you can also win a fight by taking someone down, taking 0 damage and submitting them on the floor. We also have the aspect of wrestling, of clinching, of jiu-jitsu. So it's not just striking to the head. Whereas boxing, they only strike to the body and head. And I'd say about 90% of it is to the head. And their training consists of a lot of sparring and a lot of head trauma. Whereas in MMA, one day you might come in, you might not take a single shot to your whole body. Okay? You might just do jiu-jitsu, or you might just do wrestling, some grappling, you know? But in boxing, it's always body, head, and it's 90% head and then 10% to the body, you know? MMA, like, you're spreading the damage to the body, to the whole body, you know? It's not just the head. You have the calf, you have the leg, you have the body, and then sometimes you have the clinching. Exactly, like you absorb strikes. It's distributed throughout the whole body, you know? So it's a lot more proficient in not getting any brain trauma in that way, you know? Like,
but also though, it's like in MMA you can get kicked to the head.
Yeah.
As opposed to a punch.
Yes, which
having one of those shins that can break trees. Kick you to the
head. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's still not good to get kicked in the head. Don't get me wrong. There's still like there's big risks. It's a very, very risky sport, and it's a brutal sport. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to tell you that, no, it's not as bad as boxing, or it's not. I'm just saying they've studied the numbers, and they found that the CTE and the
CTE is what, sorry?
CTE is brain damage. Okay? It's another term for brain damage. They've studied even like American football players. They have very high levels of CTE as well. Okay? But yeah, MMA has actually not been too bad so far. It's still a very new sport.
It's a new sport, right? It hasn't really also
it's only around 30 years. So it is still a fairly new sport. But yeah, I'm not trying to say it's a safe sport in any way. It is a very dangerous sport, and you need to be aware of what you're getting yourself into when you're going in there, you know? I like to, Joe Rogan, he says it's a chess game with dire consequences. You know what I mean? It's a game of chess with dire consequences. That's exactly what it is.
Interesting, yeah? Why is it described as a game of chess?
Because fighting is all skill, okay? There's heart, there's resilience. All these things play a part, of course, but It's my skill set versus your skill set. It's what I'm planning on doing versus what you plan on doing. Setting traps. Okay, you have to stay 2 steps ahead of your opponent. Like in the game of chess, you have to plan ahead. Same thing in fighting. I feint one way or I throw a shot. I see your reaction. The next time I throw that shot, I'm going to add something onto it. Okay, I'm making reads the whole time.
For
as
example,
I'm fighting.
like walk me through like a scenario of how you would, what's happening in your brain, how you're playing chess with your opponent.
Okay, so for example, if I throw a jab, very simple. I throw my jab. I see how my opponent reacts. Next time, I might feint the jab.
So what are the possible ways he could react?
He might slip to the left. He might slip to the right. He might cover up. Okay? He might pull the head. Many different things he can do. He might parry. He might come down and parry.
And each one of those,
I make a read based on what the reaction was.
Okay.
And the next time I throw the jab, I add something behind it. Okay?
So you're assuming he's going to make that same move again. So for example, if he parries, in your mind he's going to parry again.
I might not do it straight after. I might throw a jab, move around a little bit, throw a jab again. And I noticed that every time I throw a jab, he makes this reaction. He has this reaction.
Okay.
You know? I make reads. It's not just, all right, I do it once, he's definitely going to have this reaction the next time. You know? It's making reads throughout the fight, throughout the whole length of the fight.
So let's assume that you've seen he parries the jab every time.
Yes.
Not every time, but he's consistently.
Okay.
So how do you add to that now?
So I see him parrying the jab. So he's bringing his hand down. Yeah. And maybe he's going a little bit wide with the parry. Yeah. He's slapping it down a little bit too much. I'll fake the jab. I'll act like I'm throwing the jab. I'll get the feint out of him. And then I'll throw something on the same side that he's coming down from, that the hand is leaving from, you know, and expose this side of his face, you know. So that's, whether it's a kick, whether it's a punch, whether it's an elbow, whatever it is.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And you're able to read all of this in like quick time.
Absolutely. When you're in the fight, everything is slowed down. Fighting is a unique experience. Although you're around so many people, there's lights, there's a crowd, there's cameras. Once the referee looks at you and says, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's fight. You go into a zone that you can't experience outside of fight. You go into a zone where it's just extreme focus. Everything is happening in slow motion. Everything happens in slow motion. You can see shots coming before they even come at you.
And why is that?
Everything is slowed down. It's just this extreme state of focus. Yeah. This extreme state of focus. You're so focused on the task at hand. Your eyes are razor sharp. Your brain is switched on because you know the consequences if you aren't as switched on as you need to be. It's that fight or flight. And once you make the decision to fight, you go into a crazy state of focus. Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I love about the way you coach, bro, is focusing on all the skill elements.
Yes.
And like I would have thought the part that I would have enjoyed the most, for example, would have been just like just punching, kicking and this, that. But actually, weirdly enough, you know what I've been really enjoying in our training sessions?
What?
Is the defensive maneuvers.
Yes.
The pulls, the
slips, the rolls,
the parries.
Yes.
And because I didn't even know, like, as in, it's crazy to me how you could be standing in front of someone and they're throwing a multiplicity of things.
Yeah.
And just by slight movements, you could just be untouchable.
But with those slight movements, you have to be relaxed.
You have to be relaxed.
We were speaking about this.
100%.
Exactly. If you're starting in a state of stiffness and anxiousness and fear, you're not going to be able to see the shots. 100%. That's what I'm telling you. In the fight, you're relaxed.
Yeah.
You have to be relaxed.
Yeah.
And when you're relaxed, you're able to see things in slow motion. That's why you were asking me, how come you're in a state of, how are you able to see?
Yeah.
You're super relaxed. Although it's a high pressure situation, you have to train your mind to be relaxed.
And even how, like, when you do those striking combinations, how each one sets you up for the next one.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to like overstep and from just one position.
Too much. Yes.
Yeah, and you generate so much power.
Just understanding where your weight is. Exactly. Understanding how to shift your weight from one side to the other and to generate power efficiently.
Yeah.
You don't want to overlean and overthrow your punches and then be out of position. You know?
No, definitely. I think it's something that people should definitely look into, man.
Especially men. I'm telling you now, it is mandatory for a man to know how to defend himself.
It's not even that, like, it's actually fun. Like,
genuinely, yeah.
I don't think I got to, I went off track and distracted myself at the beginning, but the point that I was trying to get at was that I actually enjoy this more than going to the gym. Like, going to the gym was long, it was painful.
Absolutely.
This is actually like, no, I'm waiting for the next.
Yes, absolutely.
For the
You're
next
trying to get an extra one in during the week. I'm having to slow you down a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's actually very, very, very enjoyable. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, man, you can feel yourself getting better every session.
Absolutely.
Like, you learn this new technique, this new combination, so on and so forth.
Absolutely. Because you're getting that one-to-one focus as well.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Correcting those little mistakes every time,
No, bro, look, like I said, I've been doing this thing on and off.
Yeah.
Since karate and I was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even MMA, like I've done it on and off. I've had so many different trainers. And yeah, there was a lot of the times it was my L for not carrying on. But definitely I can say, and I'm not just saying it because you're sitting in front of me.
Yeah.
Wallahi, I've never had someone that was able to train me the way you're able to train me. Like, it's just so precise, bro. Like, to the point where I remember we were doing it with that other trainer I told you about 2 years ago. Yeah. And I would turn up, but I would not feel like he's correcting me.
Yes.
He'll demonstrate the move.
Yeah.
Maybe if there's like a crazy mistake, he'll let you know, but it's like every little thing.
Yeah.
And it's not overwhelming. I actually clocked how you do it. I noticed how every session you start identifying another mistake that I'm making.
Exactly.
And I'm like, wait, I was doing this two, 3 lessons ago, but you didn't mention it to me.
Yeah. I don't want to overwhelm you either.
Yeah.
We don't want to overwhelm you and correct too many mistakes at once. And now you're trying to fix 50 things at once and nothing gets adjusted and fixed.
That's a sign of a great teacher, man.
Yes.
My Arabic teacher's like that. He's my Islamic studies sheikh, but he also taught me Arabic at the beginning. And I remember he was like, bro, he didn't say bro, but he was like, the reason why I let you make these mistakes, because I would have overwhelmed you. And then you would not have spoken at all.
Exactly.
But now it's like, you have the confidence. So it's like, it doesn't inhibit your confidence.
Absolutely. And that comes from being coached by great coaches as well. Being a fighter and being coached by great coaches and understanding, all right, this is the most efficient way to learn and to teach.
And even though we've only had a few sessions, but I feel like we learned so much that I don't know, maybe I'm being overconfident here, but I actually feel like I know more than most guys walking in the streets. I'm like, you know what?
Absolutely. Most guys haven't got a clue how to fight.
You don't know how to slip.
Yeah.
You don't know how to set up a cross.
Fact. Most people don't. Most people think they know. Most people think, oh, I'm strong. I can do. You don't know how to do anything. You know what I mean? You don't know. You don't know how to throw a jab, let alone knock someone out. You know what I mean? People think, but I'm strong and I'm. Forget that. Nah. Forget all that. You know what I mean?
Bro, before we bring the discussion to an end, I think it'll be appropriate to mention, and I really respect you for having this kind of honest approach to this particular issue. So obviously, there is a conflict that you face internally with regards to something that is a passion for you, but then the Islamic implication of it. Just to mention to people, there's nothing haram with training and learning how to fight and whatnot and so on and so forth. I've spoken to Mashayikh about it as well, and no one can learn how to train. The issue is, like making a career out of, striking in the face and whatnot. And I know that you've been very honest and open about this internal conflict. So just break that down for me.
Yeah. I'm, like you said, it's an internal conflict that I'm battling with right now. That I've been battling with, to be honest with you. I've done some research on it, and very brief research. I still have a lot more to research and brothers to speak to about it as well, knowledgeable brothers to speak to about it. But yeah, at the minute, I am, after making Hijra fi sabilillah, and I'm still coaching, and I'm still training to fight. I haven't got a fight lined up at the minute. But yeah, I will continue on asking and trying to get a clear answer on the subject, and may Allah guide me.
I mean, look, bro, this is obviously not the time and place necessary to go into it, but one thing I do really appreciate about you is the honesty, of knowing that there's a conflict and you're trying to obviously educate yourself to the point where you have the correct decision. right? Where you come to correct decision. Of course, in case anyone's wondering, my position, obviously, me is the standard position, which is not permissible to hit in the face because of the hadith. But I do understand that in this day and age, there's a lot of dialogue around this particular topic and discussion. But I love how you're not just saying, it's permissible. Because some people will try to justify their desires, but you're actively looking, you know what I'm saying, and you're speaking to mashayikh and scholars, and I said, I'm going to also help you, inshallah. We'll speak to different scholars from different countries, different inclinations, just so there's no bias or anything like that. We can get a nice, well-rounded research on the topic. Yeah,
and it's because I've been doing it for so long, and because I'm knees deep in it, and I've burnt any other bridges for me. You know, this is all I do now. I fight, I coach. The
coaching thing is great, bro.
The coaching thing is great, but the fighting thing is unique. The fighting thing is something not only I do honestly believe that if I were to leave off fighting and go knees deep into whether it's coaching or go into business, or I feel like I can do it, because as I said, I feel like fighting builds that discipline and builds that mental strength and that self-belief that I can do anything I want with Allah's permission. Yeah. However, I don't know if I want to stop fighting, because I genuinely have so much love for the game. I love the competitive side of things in MMA. I absolutely love it, and it's, as I said, it's a unique experience. Being in there under that cage, that extreme state of focus is something that you cannot replicate. Can't tell me deep work and 90 minutes of deep work. I've done it's not the same. It's a unique experience that, like I said, the only thing that I can compare to is a warrior going into a war against another army.
Okay, let me tell you a secret. I have access to some of the greatest Muslim entrepreneurs and investors in the world that are alive today. And I've been thinking long and hard about how to give you a personalized experience with them. Finally, my team, alhamdulillah, has come up with a solution. Starting from today, every week, you will get your questions on scaling your business and halal investments answered by the best Muslim entrepreneurs and investors, inshallah ta'ala. Think of it like a podcast straight to your email inbox. Each email will give you simple but powerful insights on how to make more halal money. If you're interested, just subscribe at the link below, inshallah ta'ala. It's free. I'll tell you something, yeah. So me personally, I was a musician, right? I was a rapper. And I grew up, so deeply in love with rap music. Like, I've been listening to it since I was 7. And when I say 7, by the way, may Allah forgive me. So this is obviously, I'm talking about Jahiliyyah, but I'm just trying to relate to you on the level of something that I deeply loved. I was not just listening to music when I was 7. I was listening to Tupac, right? I was listening to like the type of stuff that most youngsters won't even understand what that music is about until they're 14, 15, 16. I was listening to it when I was 7.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I was in love with just the way they would craft their words to communicate a message. They used to gangster rap, conscious rap, whatever you want to call it. But you know, those early hip hop artists, they were not just talking about drugs and pimping and women in clubs. There was points they were trying to communicate and get across.
Absolutely.
Even right now, it's funny, like they cut up clips of Tupac from like 1993 and they're like, bro, it's like the guy's alive today.
Yeah, fact.
You know, because of
the wisdom
and whatnot and so on and so forth. Now, Taib, this is something, bro, that I cannot explain to you how I was so deep. These guys cultivated my mind. Like, I used to think like a rapper. Like, I used to think like Eminem and Tupac and DMX and Immortal Technique. Like, bro, you know when you're a kid, that's when your brain is most it's most susceptible to development because it's so plastic. They literally change and shape, bro, my thoughts. Like, if you put on a certain track, it will make me think a certain way.
Yeah.
Right? And then I became a musician. I started making music. I started recording music. I had my own studio. I started my own label. Some of the biggest artists that ever blew up in London, may Allah forgive me, but they recorded the mixtapes in my studio. Yeah. I won't mention who. But off camera, I'll tell you. But some of the biggest guys around till today, they recorded their mixtapes that they blew off in my studio. May Allah forgive me. But what I'm trying to get at is that, bro, I was so deep into this thing. Like, I was just so deep. And I never thought I would be able to leave. I remember I started praying my salah. And then like 6 months later, I realized I haven't listened to music. And I didn't know why. I just didn't know why. And then I remember I said to myself, right, it's been a while I haven't listened to music. It's been 6 months. And
you put something on.
And I was like, yeah, let me treat myself.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't made the commitment to stop listening to music.
Yeah.
So let me treat myself. Like, it's been 6 months, why not? So I put something on, and next thing you know, bro, like, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, the way I'm moving, the way my body language, my face looks, it all changed.
Yeah.
And then at that moment, I was like, wait, I don't think this is right. Like, because I saw the difference between me then and now.
But you knew all along that it was haram.
So I'll tell you something.
And you were in a haram
So I'll tell you something. You know Napoleon?
Yeah. Napoleon,
brother Muta'abid.
Yeah. With Tupac. Yeah.
So I remember he came to give a talk when I was like 17, 18 in a local masjid in my area.
He did so as well in Dublin.
Say that again?
There. He gave one to Dublin.
So he was talking about how, his story and how he left music for the sake of Allah. I remember I asked him, I was like, bro, like, is it haram? Really? Like, isn't there a different opinion? Because people tell you there's a different opinion when it comes to music.
Yeah.
They'll tell you there's a different opinion when it comes to music.
In what way? Instruments and whatnot?
No, they'll say some scholars say it's allowed.
Yeah.
And goes against clear hadith, like as in there's no two ways about it. It goes against clear hadith, unanimous consensus amongst Sahaba.
Yeah.
Someone came 500 years later, Imam Ibn Hazm was a great scholar, but he made a mistake. He said music is permissible because he saw the hadith to be weak.
Yeah.
That door's been closed.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Already? Yeah, absolutely.
And then people just hold on to one, what you call it, a shad view, like a random view, and then they want to build on it. So remember, he just shut me down. He's like, bro, this thing's haram.
Yeah.
This is haram. Just trust me, because I looked.
About it,
he said, bro, I remember this is over 20 years ago, over 15, 16 years ago, but I remember he said something like, he actually, the day he realized music's haram, he started a contract to do an album or something, and he couldn't get out of it. So he's like, bro, I was trying to find reasons to see it to be permissible. He said, trust me, this thing is not permissible. There's no way. I'll be honest, I didn't really believe him. I believed him, and I had that thing of I'm inclined, but I didn't take the decision.
Yeah. And
I was like, no, I talk about good things in my music. I talk about, I even give da'wah through my music. And I've got good messages I'm communicating through my music. What happened, bro, was one day I was in my studio and I just got a headache. I just got a nasty headache, and I was like, bro, this place just feels evil. Let me leave it. And then that's when I started praying, not wanting to quit listening to music though.
Yeah. And
then 6 months later, I'm like, let me treat myself. And I realized, I've completely changed. I realized something's up here. Something's up here. Anyways, I made the commitment to give it up. And Allah made it easy for me, because at that time I was just trying to start practicing. So when your iman goes up, automatically things that are haram,
vanish.
They go.
Yeah.
But it's important to know that it's haram, because had I not known that music's haram, or had I not started getting convinced it's haram, I would have just justified it another way.
Yes.
That's why knowledge is really, that's why, the scholars talk about bid'ah. Bid'ah is something that's not from the deen, but to say it's from the deen. That's like a very simple way to explain it. Yeah. That's dangerous. Because if you tell a man, if a man doesn't know this is wrong, he'll carry on doing it, which is why it's important to get to that stage of this is wrong. That's the first stage. And then it's like, all right, cool, now let's find a way to treat it. Cut a long story short, I started giving da'wah. And what is da'wah? It's communicating a message to people to help them make that change and whatnot, and so on and so forth. I realized years later, I actually didn't love the music. The music wasn't what I loved. And I started realizing this because everyone was like, bro, rap poetry. Because that's what you do, right? If you've just come off making music, like rapping or grime or whatever it was, then you become a spoken word poet, right? Muslim Bilal did that, whatnot. Yeah. So it was like, Imran, bro, just rap poetry. Yeah. Become a poet. So I tried. I just couldn't do it. It's like, this is dead.
Doesn't hit the same.
I was like, I'm going to go give a lecture. I'm going to go give a talk. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to give da'wah. I'm talking to guys Before we'd be doing a cypher on the streets. Now I've got guys around me and I'm teaching about Islam and speaking to Christians, and they all come and we're having the same thing. And then I realized it wasn't the music that I loved. What I loved was communicating the message of truth. I believed at the time I was communicating the message of truth through my music. Whether what I was communicating was right or wrong, irrelevant. It was the fact that I wanted to communicate what I believed in strongly that would help someone else. Yeah. It allowed me to achieve the exact same thing through da'wah and seeking knowledge. The reason I say that is because I get your point of like when I'm in the ring, nothing else compares. But whatever that thing is, Allah can give it to you better in something else. And there's hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that makes this point, which is that if you do something for Allah's sake, Allah will replace it with something better. And that's a promise. Like that will always happen. So the reason I mention that is I know how much of a fitna it is, like, you know, when you're on stage and performing, or when you're in the studio and there's a beat and you're like, you know how bad it is, bro. We went to a place to play paddle, and usually whenever I go, I tell them to turn off the music. Yes. Right? There was a particular place we went to, and as I'm like changing, and before I've got to, at this point I hadn't gone and told them to turn off the music. Okay. So I've just got into, we just get in and whatnot. Bro, they were playing songs from 25 years ago, 20 years ago. And it was like the devil literally said, yo, play his... play what's gonna get him. Intentional, And bro, like, even if I walk into a restaurant now, and if there's music playing in the background, I'll tell them to turn it off. Whatever's, it doesn't even affect me. I felt a little tug on my heart and I was like, this is evil. This is mad. Do you get me? Because it was so deep, bro. It was so deep. Do you understand? So my point is never say never. There's always gonna be something that you can channel your positive energy to. But we're going to do the research. Inshallah. We're going to do the research. Inshallah. We're going to do the research.
That's it. We'll do the research and we'll move on from there.
If it turns out to be beautiful, I'm going to be ringside. I'm going to be your biggest supporter, inshallah. Inshallah. Habibi, last thing, man. So you've decided to move to a Muslim country. You want to do Hijra. Why? Like you're on an island, you had your whole business, everything set up.
Well, it was just a Morocco retreat, so we're in Morocco. I think it was 4 or 5 weeks ago now.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think
a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 months. Maybe 2 months ago.
About 2 months. Yeah,
maybe between a month and 2 months ago. And coaching the Muslim brothers there. So I was actually like asked to come down by Fawaz. I think it was 2 days after the trip. 2 days before the trip. Sorry, before flying out.
Was it that?
Yeah.
So this is from Allah.
Let me run you through it. Yeah. So I honestly believe it's from Allah. Yeah. So 2 days before, he hit me up. He was like, listen, one of the brothers told me you're an MMA coach, and I had messaged him before, and we agreed to train together when he was back in Dublin. This is Brother Fawaz I'm talking about. And he told me, listen, come down and coach us. We need a coach because his Muay Thai coach in Morocco was away. He was like, he's not here at the moment. We actually need a coach. Please come down. And I was like, I don't know, it's 2 days. I have things to do. I was like, khalas, manish, listen, let's just go.
Oof. Okay.
I wasn't planning on it at all. I didn't really want to go. Even going into it, even once the flights were booked, everything was put in place, I was like, I'm just not in the mood for it because I haven't prepared myself.
But I was feeling the same. You know, I got sucked into the drip, and I remember I was like, I really don't want to go.
I don't want to go.
But when I got there, I was so happy.
Yeah. Listen, once it was done, I was so happy. But I didn't want to go.
I didn't want to go either.
Yeah, straight up. And then once I got there, and we had some training sessions. So I was coaching some of the training sessions with so we had one every day when we were there. And subhanAllah, the energy that I felt when I was coaching the Muslim brothers was incredible.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it was incredible. I had passion behind it.
Really?
You know, because I coach back home. I coach classes and I do one-to-ones.
Yeah.
Okay? And it had never felt anything like it did when I was coaching the brothers, subhanAllah. It was a different type of energy. It was this brotherhood that was already starting to build amongst us, but I feel like that training session and those training sessions all together just helped us connect on a deeper level, seeing everyone being challenged and overcoming their challenges and pushing each other, and we're working as teams. And the brothers were pushing each other and let's go, let's get it. And I was there just watching everything happen. I was like, subhanAllah, this is amazing. And some of the brothers were completely out of shape. Some of us hadn't trained in years. We were going on runs together. The brothers hadn't ran in years as well.
Bro, that was the first time I've done a 5K run.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't even...
First time ever
in my life, bro. And I think the maximum I've ever done in my life is a 1.5k jog. Ever.
That's nothing as well. 1.5k, that's embarrassing. 1.5k, that's crazy. SubhanAllah. But some brothers had never ran before as well.
Yeah.
So we were going, I think we'd done it every day. If I recall, every single evening we'd go on a jog.
Yeah.
SubhanAllah. And just seeing the brothers come together and that unity and the bond that we built through it, it was amazing. Wallahi, it was amazing to me. It was training Muslim brothers that really sparked that idea of I actually want to work with Muslims, because I coach some Muslims back home. I coach some non-Muslims, and I don't think it's a sin to coach non-Muslims as well. It's a service here, bro. It's not. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm a coach, you know. Yeah. Even though some people may be around wrong environments, I'm giving them da'wah through the coaching as well. You know, I give them a lot of da'wah through the coaching, especially because it's on a one-to-one basis.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Absolutely. But I did enjoy working with Muslims a lot. So I was thinking, I have some brothers here that I'm already connected with, like yourself, like Brother Fawaz. And Barakallahu Feek, you really helped me already a lot to get myself set up. So I was like, let me make Hijra fi sabilillah. Do what I'm doing back home. Do it over here. Do it in a Muslim environment where there's halal food everywhere. There's mosques everywhere. There's blessed brothers. The haram is not as in your face as it is back home. It just made sense. It was a no-brainer. Yeah.
Well, I'm actually really happy you came, bro. Honestly. And I don't know, man. Even me, this year, I feel like Allah Azza wa Jalla is doing things for me that are like transformative. This so far is weird. Last year was for me one of the toughest years of my life. And this year is looking like it's one of the best years. And I can't lie to you, bro. Like, I don't know why, man. Like, these classes that we're doing has brought me a lot of joy personally. Yes. Like, even I feel feeling slightly emotional saying it right now, because my dad always wanted me to learn how to fight since I was 5, and it's something that was always drilled in me. You know, like, bro, you need to do this.
Absolutely.
And I always wanted to. I grew up on all the kung fu movies and you know.
SubhanAllah, you mentioned that. Well, like the Karate Kid. Yeah, the Karate Kid was the first movie I ever watched. Yeah, in a cinema, and that I think sparked something. It's like 100% seeing this kid that was starting off in a new country, this, that, and then he fought his way up, and that whole story really got something going for me.
Yeah, I'm saying that's the narrative that we grew up on, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
that story.
And it's like I did like for about 7-8 years I did karate, and I was good at it. But then I remember when I was like I left it for a period of time, and then I came I came and joined like a kickboxing thing when I was like 18, 19, and the coach there was like, oh, that karate stuff's nonsense.
Yeah.
He was like, if you heard about MMA? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that is martial arts.
Yeah.
He said, no. Because when I throw an elbow at you, you're going to know all your katas.
Fact.
He goes,
katas go out the door.
They go out the door.
Absolutely.
So then I was like, rah, so I waste, like, as in, I was just learning how to dance, basically.
Fact. I think it's an ultimate form of fight. Ultimate.
And I just never really got into it, and I always really wanted to. I really wanted to. But well, I'm really enjoying it with you. And there's so much, like, this has been a good year for my deen. It's been a good year for my business. It's been the best year for my business. It's actually been a great year for my deen, for my personal development, for my fitness. And
absolutely.
And I'm really excited to carry on with you. And I don't know, man, I kind of feel like we're going to start a movement, not a revolutionary political one, but we're going to start a movement of getting brothers to kind of just leave just doing training for the sake of aesthetics, and actually get them to start training and be functional, be effective.
Absolutely. And learning how to defend themselves, defend their families.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely, man. Well, Youcef, you're an absolutely lovely brother, bro. I love your genuineness. I love your authenticity. You're a master of your craft, Allah barik, and you're fantastic at what you do. You're a man. Like, you're actually a man amongst boys, and in this ummah we need a lot more men, and you're helping boys become men and men become better men through your training. And ask Allah to give you tawfiq and allow you to carry on doing what you're doing, bro.
Barakallahu fi. Barakallahu fi.
Well, So if anyone's interested in being in touch with you, put the details below. Look, guys, I have a lot to lose. Put my name behind someone. I have a lot to lose. I don't promote people very easily. But I'll tell you one thing. If you start training with this brother right here, you won't regret it, inshallah. Just a heads up, it's not cheap though. But that's good.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like, if I'm going to have I remember I went home to my wife and I was like, you know, a professional fighter trains me.
Yeah.
It's like a pro fighter who's won a title. Like, as in you have an amateur title, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But it's still a title.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got the belt with the gold and everything. So I was like, listen,
absolutely.
I got a professional fighter. He's training me. That's a big thing. There's a price tag on that. But wallahi, may Allah bless you.
Wallahi, may Allah bless you. Wallahi, barakallah for everything you're doing for me. Wallahi, barakallah fiqh. I can't thank you enough.
No, it's not enough, man. You're a brother who's come in, you've moved to a Muslim country. It's what the Sahaba did when the Sahaba did Hijra to Medina.
Yeah.
The ones in Medina, they took care of them. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Inshallah.
Absolutely.
May Allah bless you, my bro.
Akhi, barakallahu fiqh.
Inshallah.
Barakallahu fiqh.
Guys, with that said, I'll see you for another episode of Righteous or Rich next week. Make sure you check out my brother Ysef at the link below. If you're interested, he will come to you in Dubai, Sharjah, train you in your local gym, in your area of convenience, and turn you into something dangerous with Allah's permission. With that said, subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In case you ever wanted to move to Dubai, I've got something very special for you. As you may be aware, myself and Abu Bakr moved to Dubai and Sharjah last year. It was one of the best decisions that we ever made for our deen, our families, and our businesses. Living here is amazing. You've got a masjid in almost every single street, unparalleled safety and security. You've got lessons from mashayikh and different teachers and students of knowledge in English and Arabic, and no income tax. Now, how do you move here? That's a question that you might be asking. Well, it can be tough if you don't know your way around things. Sometimes the companies that help you get visas here, they got hidden fees, long waits, big problems, resulting in visa rejections, a lot of wasted money and time. This is where Ansar Consultants comes into play. They helped us set up everything. No hidden fees, no long waits. They kept it simple and honest. I got my visa in less than a month. And these guys have a 100% track record helping brothers get their visa so far. 100% track record. That's insane. Allahumma barik. Now, if you're thinking of moving to the UAE, I recommend Ansar Consultants. They can even help you invest in properties here with a 100% Sharia compliant contract. So if you want a smooth move like we did, click the link below and check out Ansar Consultants.